am the Irish guy, right? So it has been a quiet summer transfer window so far, right? But you would be surprised by how many deals have actually been done in secret. Today, I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and grade your club's first signing of the summer, whether that's a player or a manager. And with a couple of these clubs, because they've been so inactive, like ridiculously so, and I'm just gonna have to take a look at their most likely transfer rumor, the one that looks like it's probably gonna happen. Right, let's go. Arsenal, David Raya, 8.5 out of 10. Look, I know Arsenal fans were crushed this week. Lads, when there are new, fresh, young superstars on the block, on the rare occasions that they actually snub interest to stay longer at their unfashionable club, they usually do it by ending hope late in the window. That's when they usually say no. Like Michael Olise signing a fat new deal at Crystal Palace last summer, but he left that until the 18th of August. After spending 2 months shamelessly flirting with Man City and Chelsea, Ozzy would not be shocked to find out that he spent every single day of July sitting outside the Chelsea club shop, tucking into a cheese sandwich and a bag of Monster Munch. But RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, he's not even entertained a summer of English clubs ringing him 14 times a day. I mean, even Dusan Vlahovic made Arsenal wait a month before he said no. But no, this guy, he's immediately just signed a new deal before Euro 2024, which is just crazy. What happens if he wins the Golden Boot with Slovenia? Surely he'll then be screaming for £250,000 a week, right? I don't know what he gets paid in Germany right now, but when contrasted against top Premier League wages, it's probably the equivalent to a £50 note and a free Cineworld card. But listen, Arsenal's first signing is going to be boring old David Raya on a permanent deal from Brentford for £35 million. Look, he is top class, but how good is his 28-year-old really? Because he only has 5 caps for Spain and is still playing second fiddle to Athletic Bilbao's Unai Simon, who is actually a younger model, but still he's a good goalie, so yeah, good transfer. Aston Villa, Ross Barkley, 5 out of 10. What is this all about? Have I just banged my head off the concrete whilst chasing squirrels in the park? Have I just woken up in 2020 again? Should I now refrain from coughing in the faces of old women queuing for meatballs in Asda? Should I now start preparing to use all 7 Harry Potter books as toilet paper? Because Ross Barkley is about to be unveiled as an Aston Villa player again. He already did all this 4 years ago when he joined on loan from Chelsea, and he was a flop. Dean Smith promised that he would get Barkley into England's Euro 2020 squad. Yeah, Smith might as well have promised him a date with Pocahontas. He might as well promised him a lap dance from Santa Claus. I mean, he started well at Villa, scoring a 7-2 win over Liverpool, and then netting a last-minute winner at Leicester the next week. But then his hamstring crumbled, he rapidly lost form, and he was dropped in the second half of the season. And he just scuttled out the back door without ever actually playing in front of the Villa fans. Look, it didn't work out for him the first time, so going back again, this is like Ben Affleck getting back into a relationship with Jennifer Lopez 20 years after they broke up. Surprise, surprise, they're getting divorced. Barkley is about to sign for Villa in a £5 million deal. He is about to finally add to his 6 Champions League games. I mean, to be fair, for someone who's planning on becoming a world-class player at Stamford Bridge, then that is a pitiful stat. He's had such a miserable time in that competition too. Only 96 minutes under his belt. He missed a penalty on his Champions League debut against Valencia. He then started both legs in a 7-1 aggregate defeat to Bayern Munich, where he was completely outclassed by the likes of Thiago Alcantara. Poor Barkley, the Champions League music is probably scarier than the Exorcist theme tune. Look, this is an amazing comeback from the man, I guess, and for £5 million, he's a decent squad option. But I don't know, for a Champions League outfit to still be signing players from Luton Town, it does feel a bit meh. I mean, lads, Manchester United aren't in the Champions League, and yet if they signed Barkley this season, somebody who did play for Jim Ratcliffe's niece, don't forget, oh, then they would be roundly mocked, as if you just caught a mega celebrity like Hugh Grant in bed with an ugly Japanese granddad. Bournemouth, Alex Paulson, 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, Bournemouth's first signing up this summer is Alex Paulson. Anyone have a clue who he is? He's a 21-year-old goalkeeper from New Zealand. Yeah, the Cherries have snapped him up from Wellington Phoenix for an initial fee of £850,000, rising to a potential £2 million. Is that it? 850k? That's probably something that Chunks spends in a year at Pizza Hut. Look, I know last month he made his debut for the A-League All-Stars and kept a clean sheet in an 8-0 win over Newcastle United. But is that really why you've got him? Because he was part of a shameless Aussie team who made a bunch of Geordie children cry? To be fair, he was named in the A-League team of the season 2, was named Goalkeeper of the Year and Young Footballer of the Year, becoming the first ever Wellington player to do that. Just helped them finish second in the league. Their highest ever finish was conceding the lowest number of goals in their history, just 26 from 27 games. Those are all decent signs. Although the elephant in the room is that the Australian League is weak. So Paulson could actually have the wrist strength of marmalade. He might not even adapt to England. No longer is he able to have his familiar sausage barbecues on Christmas Day. No, he's instead going to be desperately trying not to drop his phone in the snow. It'll be a culture shock, but for 850k, it's worth the risk. Brentford, Igor Thiago, 4 out of 10. Really? Another one? After Brighton doing it last year too. What is it with these mid-table Premier League clubs continuously buying Brazilians called Igor? How many Igors are there? Is it now fashionable in Brazil to name your baby boy after that creepy goblin who fetched biscuits for Dr. Frankenstein? Anyway, this one is Igor Thiago. Brentford struck a deal in February for the summer acquisition of this 22-year-old striker from Club Bruges for a club record £30 million. This was a weird one because Brentford had actually agreed a deal with Bruges for their Norwegian winger Antonio Nusa, but that broke down after a failed medical. But they were so determined to write Bruges a fat check for someone that they returned for somebody who was blatantly Ivan Toney's replacement. He is a big, powerful striker, and his stats are good. 29 goals last season, 20 the previous season for Ludogorets Razgrad. By the way, this guy turned out in Brazil under-23 call-up in January. Considering he has a Bulgarian passport too, is he dreaming of becoming the next Berbatov instead? But listen, I smell a flop because we have been here before. Brentford are making the same mistake Aston Villa made in 2019. Again, paying a club record fee for a Brazilian goal machine at Club Bruges. Wesley. He scored 5 goals for Villa, and now he just went through an entire season goalless for Stoke. If I'm a Brentford fan, then I'm worried. Brighton, Ibrahim Osman, 8 out of 10. I didn't think Brighton could get more hipster than Roberto De Zerbi, but congrats! You're about to hire a 31-year-old coach from St. Pauli. You don't get more hipster than that. You are going to have indie wet wipes swirling their mustaches with glee to see Fabian Husler in the Prem. Someone who'll probably wear a vegan badge on match of the day. Anyway, Brighton's first signing is Ghana international winger Ibrahim Osman. He's 19 years of age and joining from North Shaland in Denmark for £18 million. I'm sorry, but he's a Simon Adingra clone. Come on, both of them. African wingers who came through the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana, both moved to North Shaland, and then both graduated to Brighton. I can promise you Osman is getting loaned out to Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium as well. This is genuinely like cloning characters in The Sims. Would not be shocked to find out that Osman is just an AI creation. I am guessing he is just another Adingra, an explosive, skillful winger with an eye for goal. And so if he is, then that's another great signing. Finally, there's going to be an exciting, unpredictable Osman in the Premier League. After Leon was just some gravelly midfield oaf kicking lumps out of people in Everton's midfield. Chelsea, Tosin Adarabioyo, 6.5 out of 10. Look, right now, Chelsea are really trying to buy Aston Villa's bench-warming striker, John Duran, which actually makes sense to me because he gives me Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank vibes. Two guys who literally thumped the football with all the force of a high five from the Hulk. Honestly, as we speak, Hasselbank and Kane are probably having a striking competition in the England training camp. Seriously, I mean, you know that forfeit where if you lose a football challenge, your punishment is that you have to face the wall and let everybody kick the ball off your bum? Oh, if you've got Hasselbank playing that game with you, you ain't gonna be sitting down for a month. Anyway, no, Chelsea's first signing of the summer has been 26-year-old centre-back Tosin Adarabioyo and a free from Fulham. Look, he had a lucrative offer from Newcastle, but I get it. He doesn't have to move house. There is literally no upheaval in his personal life doing this. I mean, come on. His whole career have been giving him clues that he is a future Chelsea centre-back. I mean, he was born 3 miles from Stamford Bridge. And the only reason he joined Man City at the age of 5 was because he was spotted by the club's head of recruitment, Terry John. Seriously? Terry John? I mean, did that fella also like to steal girlfriends from his mate Bridge Wayne? Tosin is a solid mid-table centre-back who will provide decent cover on the bench. Who knows, he might even start. But actually, for £100,000 a week, he probably will. Crystal Palace, Daichi Kamada, 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, here we have Oliver Glasner flexing his Bundesliga links and snapping up old Eintracht Frankfurt Europa League winning midfielder Daichi Kamada from Lazio on a free. It's all been agreed. The medical is booked in for next week. This Japanese playmaker is on his way. This is someone who nearly joined AC Milan last year before signing a weird 1-year deal with Lazio. He's essentially done to them what Jay Lings tried to do at Forest. I mean, the Lazio sporting director, he ain't happy. He's called Kamada's refusal to renew his contract as being unexpected great rudeness, even calling them out for extortion. Yikes. Listen, this is a guy who could play out wide or in midfield. This is someone who scored 40 goals and registered 33 assists in 5 seasons at Frankfurt. I mean, chuck him into the same Palace side as Eze and Olise. And oh wow, if these 3 are together next season, then Crystal Palace, you have to aim for Europe. This is mouth-watering. Excellent signing. Everton, nobody. Yeah, Everton have no money. I legitimately would not be shocked if they didn't make a single signing all summer long. Fulham, Teddy 6 out of 10. Yeah, Fulham haven't signed anyone yet either. So I am guessing here, but apparently they're interested in Luton Town centre back Teddy. If this deal goes through, and it probably should, then it's decent squad depth, I suppose. I mean, he spent nearly 15 years of his life at Manchester United. Forget about the Luton relegation. He's clearly got something about him. Ipswich Town, Kieran McKenna 9 out of 10. Yeah. Ipswich have not lifted a finger in the transfer market so far, and that's probably because all their energy has gone into tying their miracle working manager Kieran McKenna down into a new 4-year deal. How scary must it have been for little Ipswich Town after 2 promotions in a row to suddenly have this guy being monitored by former European champions like Manchester United and Chelsea, 2 clubs who are contesting a Champions League final. Back when he was some under-21 Northern Ireland international midfielder stuffed in the Spurs academy, getting starstruck when Jermaine Genius asked him for the time. Look, McKenna would have been a disaster as Manchester United boss. I mean, if people didn't think David Moyes had enough experience for the job, then this fella, somebody who was recently making the coffee and handing out the bibs at Old Trafford, it would have been like when Chelsea hired Andre Villas-Boas. Only worse. But for Ipswich, this is better than any potential signing they could have done, because if he had gone, who would they have gotten? Right now, you got Leicester City begging Graham Potter on their hands and knees. And at least they're a club who have played Champions League football inside the last 10 years. They are able to keep his attention, but Ipswich, they were apparently going to replace McKenna with Rob Edwards. Great. We would have seen Luton Town 2.0. Pointless. Leicester City, Abdul Fattah 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, pretty simple this. Leicester signed Ghanaian winger Abdul Fattah on loan from Sporting Lisbon last summer with a guaranteed £14 million permanent deal if they went up. And they did. And yeah, he did score 6 goals and registered 13 assists in the championship. I mean, the 3rd last game of the season. The kid was scoring a hat-trick and registering an assist in a 5-0 win over Southampton. That is quality. And so for around £14 million, this deal is a snip. Liverpool, Arne Slot 4 out of 10. Arne Slot is the first man to pen a contract at Anfield this summer. Or at least I think he has, because nobody has seen him. For anybody who naively thought he was knuckling down to work at Liverpool early this summer. Oh no, he's just been discovered on a family holiday in Ibiza. Why is this man not being unveiled as the next Liverpool manager yet? He hasn't even given a 10-second hello to the fans on Twitter. Nothing. Anyway, do I think this fella arriving from Feyenoord is a good idea? No, I think we've proven now that hiring bald coaches from the Dutch league is a massively stupid risk. Sorry, Liverpool, but I reckon he gets sacked within 3 years. Man City, Savio 9 out of 10. Man City are signing the 2nd highest dribbler in Europe for the 23-24 season. This is someone who had 102 successful dribbles for Girona in La Liga. Yeah, more than the Brazilian skillsters at Real Madrid. Yeah, Manchester City agreed a deal to sign Savio this summer. Although they're buying him from one of their feeder clubs, Troyes in France. So this does feel a bit like they're taking money out of their wallet to put it in another wallet. I mean, it seems so strange. Troyes and Girona are both under the City umbrella, and he was officially purchased by Troyes for €6 million from Atletico Mineiro 2 years ago, but I mean, he wasn't really, was he? He was bought by the City Football Group and was just chucked into that French club where he never played a single match. Come on, technically, let's be real. Manchester City bought this kid 2 years ago. They just want to pretend that they didn't. Look, he is a 20-year-old sensation. A devastatingly quick, incredibly direct winger. 11 goals and 10 assists last season. He's been squeezing himself into the Brazil team. He's in their Copa America squad. He is absolutely the future. He is a Brazilian Jeremy Doku, so having both of those guys on the flanks, it's like this might be the beginning of a new era for City. No more tepid, frustratingly slow, pass and move, laboured football in the final third. This might actually turn them into a devastatingly quick, counter-attacking side when Pep leaves. Maybe? Man United, Josh Zirkzee, 7.5 out of 10. Okay, Manchester United haven't done anything this summer yet, other than decide to keep Erik ten Hag. This is me guessing, but it looks like Manchester United are going all out to sign uncapped Netherlands forward Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna. I mean, it's funny, the last time Ten Hag tried to buy a striker from that club, Manchester United fans said he broke the internet. Gary Neville was close to groaning on the telly. Well, despite the backlash they got for the Arnautovic interest, they're going back to Bologna for this Bayern Munich reject, who did score 11 goals as a centre forward in Serie A last season. This screams of a Manchester United transfer because this 23-year-old has basically done what Rasmus Højlund did to get his dream move. He has a £34 million release clause, so you wouldn't be breaking the bank either. I mean, this is someone who cancelled his Disneyland plans to get a last-minute call-up for Euro 2024, so let's see how he does. But yeah, I think this is going to be a decent, clever buy. Newcastle, Lloyd Kelly, out of 10. Okay, Newcastle are trying to sign Burnley goalkeeper James Trafford. Although, forget about Jay Trafford. The real quality up-and-coming goalie is Jay Stafford. Some fella I played with in a 7-a-side tournament last night. We won, by the way. But no, Newcastle are closing in on the permanent signing of 25-year-old defender Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth. Getting Kelly in on a free transfer. Someone who can either play as a centre-back or a left-back. It's quality business. Nottingham Forest, Che Adams, 5 out of 10. Okay, this one is not even agreed yet. So this might not happen, but apparently Nottingham Forest are leading the race to sign Southampton beefcake centre forward Che Adams. Someone who has never hit double digits in a single Prem season. Is he really an upgrade on Chris Wood? No. Southampton, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. 22-year-old ex-Man City centre-back Taylor Harwood-Bellis has finally completed his £20 million permanent move to the Saints to be their first signing of the summer. But it is their potential second signing, which is all sorts of crazy. Apparently they're in talks about bringing back Adam Lallana. You know, Southampton enemy Adam Lallana? The guy who forced to remove to Liverpool 10 years ago in a really ugly fashion. The Southampton board bringing in this fella and telling the fans to magically like him again? This would stink of when Everton awkwardly re-signed Wayne Rooney in 2017. I mean, am I the only one who remembers how bad that relationship was when he was kissing the Man United badge at Goodison Park? I mean, is everyone forced to chuck on fake smiles and pretend that all that ugliness never happened? Honestly, a 36-year-old Lallana back at Southampton is going to look weird. But the official signing through the door is Harwood-Bellis, who had a great loan spell, is clearly a very decent centre-back. Tottenham, Timo Werner, 7 out of 10. Yeah, Tottenham have signed Timo Werner on loan again. After a mediocre-ish 6 months on loan from Leipzig this last season, Ange Postecoglou was happy to give the German another crack. It's wild. This man was once the most in-demand striker in the world, with both Chelsea and Liverpool fighting over him. Now Spurs are able to just repeatedly borrow him unchallenged. There is an option to buy next summer for £12 million. Really? A Champions League winning winger under the age of 30 for just £12 million? That's actually decent business. West Ham, Luis Guilherme, 7.5 out of 10. West Ham have made it a recent habit out of signing hugely impressive top talent that should have been out of their league. But this isn't anything new. They were signing both Tevez and Mascherano 18 years ago. I mean, they were trying to sign Neymar and Torres a decade ago. And now Luis Guilherme from Palmeiras for £25 million. He's an 18-year-old Brazilian midfield talent. He's essentially a future replacement for Lucas Paqueta. Look, he could be a complete world star like Mascherano, or he could just be another Paulinho or a Sandro or a Fred, just sort of meh. There has been plenty of average Brazilian midfielders in the Prem. Don't you worry about that. But it is an exciting gamble. Wolves, Rodrigo Gomez, 5 out of 10. Yeah, here we have Wolves signing yet another young Portuguese talent. What's new? Lads, Wolves do this every summer. They've done this so many times, cramming so many Portuguese recruits into their squad that they have managed to overlook some serious quality. I mean, both Pedro Goncalves and Vitinha were two of the best players in Europe last season, winning the league with Sporting Lisbon and PSG. Yeah, neither one got a sniff at Molineux. I mean, Francisco Trincao just starred for Sporting Lisbon last season too, so Rodrigo Gomez might not even be given a proper go. But he's a £12 million signing from Braga, a 20-year-old winger. But these sort of players are always so hit and miss for Wolves, so this guy could be anything. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Let me know what has been your most exciting. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.